The Booth Radio.
Welcome to UrbanGrindTV presents Cryptid City with my man John Daniel, our host with the most. He's about to tell y'all about some real freaky stuff going on out there. Why don't you get in tune? What's good, Johnny?
Thank you for the intro. I'm John Daniel. I am here, your host for Cryptid City, from the heart of the Chicago, the hunt for the unknown. We are trying to look for the paranormal, the extra-dimensional, the extraterrestrial, anything that's out there in there, anything that is just basically different. Trying to reach a new audience here and trying to find out what you, as the audience, and as my co-host here today, please introduce yourself right now.
I'm the Pride of the East Side DJ, inmates to the battle way.
It's your boy Wally, a.k.a. Mr. Drama.
Hey, it's Sonia
UrbanGrindTV.
Escobar.
Well, I have a very poignant topic to talk about today. If you would have asked me last week, I wouldn't have said I would be doing my radio show today, but I read something in the paper, and I knew I had to get the word out there. Apparently, last week on March 6th, there was a shooting in Idaho. Kyle Odom, a former U.S. Marine, shot Pastor Tim Remington of the Altar Church, point blank 6 times, including once in the back of the head.
Oh, my.
He wrote a manifesto claiming he was influenced by hypersexual aliens that were reptilian shapeshifters, and he was one of the reptilian shapeshifters.
Wait a minute.
He then flew to Washington, D.C. and tried to throw his manifesto over the White House fences.
He's the guy that tried to jump the fence?
This was last week. I don't know if you're thinking something older.
That's another guy. You're right.
This was just like trying to throw some flash drives with this out.
Real quick, so the shooter is the one who tried to jump over the White House
Yes.
fence? Okay.
Well, tried to throw something over the
threw
fence.
something.
not
Gotcha.
himself,
Gotcha.
right. The lizard
Some sort
person.
what I heard is USB files.
Okay.
But basically, in his manifesto, he's claiming that this pastor that he shot was a reptilian shapeshifter, and that there's a huge conspiracy within the Congress, and he named names, and he put a lot of things out there that that this reptilian shapeshifters, and this is not a new theory to him, and not applying solely to him. This has been out there. There's works by David Icke that claims in this, but he went out there and he's saying this pastor that he shot is a reptilian.
What kind of proof did he have?
Apparently, aliens came into psychic communication with him and told him about this. It's a long story. He wrote a 21-page manifesto where he actually drew pictures of these reptilians and these amphibians.
What kind of drugs was he on?
Apparently, I don't know anything about drugs. There's a smear campaign, I say, in the media claiming that he was sick and deranged.
Where are these reptile people located? Or
Well, see, that's what I want to get to, because he's claiming a lot of the Congress, a lot of the government, a lot of the social media, a lot of the government. And this is not just him saying this. If you go online and Google the reptilian shapeshifters, you'll find hundreds of videos, from Miley Cyrus to Bill Clinton to...
Now, are you scared of your safety talking about something like this?
I am cautious. Nothing I'm saying right now can't be found online. This isn't new information, but this is information for people who may have not heard this before.
What do the reptile people want? That's what I want to know.
Great question. Great
They
question.
just want Trump for president?
They better not.
I don't think Trump's a reptile. I think he's a douchebag. But I don't think he's a reptile.
So what
That's
do they
not
want?
a curse word. That's a product you can buy at Walgreens.
Yeah. Kudos. Wow.
They want to kind of control us in the world, and some claim that they have been for many, many centuries, that the royal family has reptilians, that the whole House of Parliament...
There's definitely some inbreeding going on with that house.
Yeah. You know what? Doing my research, I found some evidence or some witnesses claiming from the native people of Canada that they've taken whole school children full of native people and ate them in the 60s.
Long
But
live the
but
queen.
that's something to look
What?
into yourself. I don't want to get
the-
into the royal family today. Right
Wow.
now, I'm worried more
Right,
about
keep
Kyle
it on this
Odom.
side of the
You
pond.
know,
Right.
But I'm the voice of reason, so I want to know is who was the first one to bang a lizard to create the lizard people?
That's a great question.
How do you get a lizard person?
Start from
Lizard people are probably been here longer than we have. There are theories that the lizard people are actually evolutionary descendants of the dinosaurs, and that they went underground and avoided extinction and became sentient and developed the whole thing. Other claim they're from the Draco galaxy and that they're alien species.
And they're into politics.
Well, I mean, if you look, they're into everything. They're into control over the galaxy. And if you look at it, they've been around since the dawn of time. What's the genesis of the Bible? The serpent, who still actually at that point had arms and legs. And the serpent came and gave knowledge. You know, they're given, he's given the devil personnel in the Bible, but in that story, he's just come in to give knowledge and bring evolution to the people. You know, what if that was, if you rephrase and look at the story of Genesis at a different thing, what if the Garden of Eden was an alien experiment and this was human evolution coming, and the serpent people were the people coming before us, and basically bringing the knowledge of freedom, the free will to people?
You ever had some lizard booty?
I know one girl that was pretty snaky, but I don't know if she was a lizard girl.
So let me get this straight. You basically saying a brontosaurus possibly had a sex with a caveman?
No, not Brontosaurus.
The snake screwed somebody.
The snake.
It's plausible, actually. Evolutionary offshoot of dinosaur eras. Dale A. Russell of 1982, the curator of the vertebrate fossils of the National Museum of Canada in Ottawa, conjectured a possible evolutionary path for the Troodon. I'm not a good speaker of fancy words. It had not perished in the Cretaceous Paleogenetic extinction event in 65 million years ago, suggested that it could evolve into an intelligent being similar to a body plan of the humans. Over geologic time, it could have grown and developed. Had these creatures went underground, they could have developed the same sentience a human could have developed over the thousands of years, the millions of years. They could have developed, they could have grown, they could have made something of themselves.
Evolved.
There's the theories of the hollow earth that there's whole basically species, there's whole societies under our earth of otherworldly creatures that you could
Fantastic. So how prevalent is that in Chicago?
I heard,
there's a lot
heard
of, sci-fi stuff out there, the H.G. Wells stuff,
Of
the
course.
100 stuff that, maybe there's some things that were right about that.
So
maybe
there-
Kyle Odom was right about this guy shooting lizard people. He shot him
Right,
6
so-
times, including point blank in the back of the head, and he's still conscious, and he's still good.
The guy's alive.
The guy's
Wow.
alive. The son said he gave him a thumbs up in the hospital. He's still he's expected to make a recovery.
So if they cut,
And this is a trained Marine at point blank range.
so if you cut his tail off, does it grow back?
Well,
I
fast
don't know,
forward.
you know.
Let's fast
Cut his tail
forward
off.
today, 2016. Where is he now?
This is current.
This was
No,
last
this just
week.
happened last week.
This was
So where is
last
he
week.
now?
He's in prison. He
This
was
sounds like a bad
arrested
sci-fi
by
movie.
the secret police, not the secret police, the presidential, the
Okay.
Secret Society.
Secret
Oh,
Service.
that's what I
the
want
word
to know.
I'm looking
That's what I
for.
know. So
And they
That's
were
a
turned
whole
over for
service.
the
Good
arrest
job.
Secret
of
Society's a whole other show.
Yeah, my bad.
Pastor Tim Remington. But these things are around. They're
So how
Okay.
can I be sure you're not one of these people?
right.
Because you're kind of giving me that creepy
You know what?
vibe right
Yeah,
now.
I'm
if
pretty
you think
sure.
about it, anyone
Look at his shirt.
could be a lizard person if you think about it. But most of the lizard people are connected. They're in society. To be honest with you, I'm pretty poor. These lizard people are connected. They're rich. They're the
So
Illuminati. They're the
are they
secret people. They're the
Republicans?
running the government. They're Republicans. They're Democrats. Hell, I think Hillary Clinton's a lizard person. So
Wow.
is Bill.
Well, let's slow down. So there's no like physical characteristics
I
that we're
mean-
able to detect lizard people by, or
Physical
how will I know?
characteristics. See, if you go online, you Google lizard shapeshifters or anything like that,
Okay.
you'll see a lot of political people, a lot of media people.
Mm-hmm.
There's some things where, like, sometimes their eyes will get shifty. They'll get slanty for no reason, just for a second.
So tired.
If you slow it down.
Oh, okay.
So that what if that happened just because they was high.
Wiz Khalifa must be a lizard.
If you're a human, your eye doesn't close like a dog or like a lizard, like a third eye.
Feline.
Okay.
Wait. So
Okay.
it closes
Eye. Like it's cut slanty.
left to right, not
Vertically. Yes.
vertically, not
Thank you.
horizontally. Gotcha.
That's true.
Not
Okay.
like stoned or.
So there's some people who you think eyes closed like that.
Yeah. I mean, there's hundreds. Anyone high up, anyone really making it. And if you look at it, there are lizard people. Right now, I was watching a video. Miley Cyrus is definitely a lizard person.
You think so?
Look at her
She's
face.
some.
She's got the
She's
long
some.
extended snout.
So-
Hannah Montana.
She's not really that hot. She's not really that talented, but yet she's very famous. You know, she flicks her tongue out like crazy, like a lizard person would. And I was watching some videos where her eyes were like closing up on the vertical horizon.
Could it be possible, like, I'm just might be shooting on a limb, like a human had sex with an alligator or something
That's what
like
I thought,
that?
right? Who's banging?
No,
Like,
that would just be
how
gross.
did it get that?
That would just be a normal, like
Right,
any
but I mean,
cross
how did
species
it? How did it
breed,
happen? Like, did they just take over
they
their
were
body
dinosaurs,
and just decided?
then they
No.
evolved.
I mean, if you're a lizard person, you know you're a lizard person. You're not just gonna be like.
I just
"Hey,
want to know.
here's a
No.
human I fell in love with.
No,
Right,
that's
right,
not what I
right.
mean. I'm just trying to figure out how did the breeding happen that humans and lizards combine.
Some people have said they've been here since a long time. There isn't, like I was mentioned before, the Genesis myth. There's
Right.
other things. There's the Aztecs. There's the Maya. They're all lizard gods, lizard people. You know, a lot. If you look through a lot of the religions, there's a lot of serpent symbolism. A lot of serpent
True.
sort of gods. There's
valid. That's
the
valid.
Kappa of Japan. There's there's many here.
I got you. You're right.
You know, it's not just one thing here. This is a common thing that's been represented in society over and over and over again. This is a.
So what's like our generation's serpent figure?
You know, I wouldn't say there's a specific serpent figure because that's like saying there's like a devil. You know, if you go back to the original roots, devil wasn't even, or Satan wasn't even like a specific person. It was like an adversary role. Just anything that was an adversary. There's many serpents out there.
Do they have like an Instagram or a Facebook?
Anyone
Cruz
really
maybe.
probably.
Can you join the lizard people, or is it like a private?
No, I would think you would have to be born into it. You know, it's a secret society. You know.
So they're racist. What are you telling me?
Yeah.
Interspecies racist.
Hey.
Racist.
If you're not a lizard person, you're not down with them.
So, if people want to know more about lizard people and get some of the research that you've come upon, like what's
Right.
a valid source of information out there on the internet?
Just Google. Hopefully, I'm gonna get out there a Cryptid City website. I'm working on the conceptualization of that now, where you can, just come to that. Until that point, there's a lot of good websites out there, including reptileshapeshifters.com or something like that.
No.
But there's lots of YouTube videos out there, including lots of famous people you would never expect. A lot of media people, a lot of newscasters.
Name
A
them.
lot of TV
Name
show
'em.
producers. Like Cryptic City, why don't you like tell the people, because this is like obviously the first time you've been on
Right,
the
like-
booth radio and coming out and doing your show. Is it gonna be like all lizard all the time, or
No. This was something I read in the paper last week, and I had to get the word out there. The lizard people are out there. They got the secret agenda running, and
But basically,
they're
Cryptic City,
basically already controlling us. It's not that they're trying to take over. They're taking over hundreds of years ago. We are already the slaves of the lizard.
So
people.
Cryptic City is just the
Cryptid
radio
City is
show
to
that's
get
going to give
the-
information of all
Basically,
paranormal.
we want to hit anything
conspiracies.
paranormal. Correct. Anything
That's what
paranormal.
that's what the people can
anything
expect from you.
Zoological,
Okay.
extra-dimensional, extraterrestrial, anything that we want to bring it to a new audience. We want to
Okay,
grab,
right.
Someone who may not have heard of hunting for Bigfoot or
So
lizard people.
I was gonna get into that. Would,
Right,
would-
because that's the
you know
thing.
what?
Like
When
people
we come
actually
back from our break, I do have plans to do a segment of asking what you all believe.
Sounds
I want to
good.
definitely
Sounds
get into the Bigfoot, but
Okay.
You're listening to the Booth Radio, and this is Cryptid City with my man John E. Daniel,
Yeah.
DJ MH. to
Lizard
the-
people, we see you. We know you out here.
I'm Mr.
We
Drama.
looking
This is
for you.
Sonia.
hey,
Lizard
happy
people.
birthday, John. too.
Happy birthday, Johnny. Yo, lizard people, we want your side of the story. So
coming
if
for
you
you.
are a lizard person
Right.
and you are willing to come on and speak to us on the show,
Right. Use your amendment right
hit
here.
us up at the booth radio at UrbanGrindTV.com and we'll get you set up.
The lizard people are definitely out there, and they're definitely running our society, but it's time we moved on a little. I want to hear from you guys, my guest. I want to know what you believe, what you think are out there. First, I want to know, has anyone here had a supernatural, extraterrestrial, or otherworldly, or otherwise unexplained experience in their life?
I believe so.
Please explain. Tell me.
Like in my house, I would hear noises, and I could have sworn I saw a shadow. But then when I walked to it, it just went away. So it's kind of creepy.
That does sound creepy.
You know,
What
'cause
kind
you
of
feel a
noises were
vibe,
you
you
hearing? Like footsteps, doors
Like,
slamming, or
I want to say more like it's cold.
okay.
And it's like you know, like a vibe when someone's staring at you from
Yeah.
your peripheral. Like you could just tell. It was just that vibe. You get up and you walk around, and you kind of feel like the temperature change. That's all I can say. But that's
That does sound sort
That
of
really did
supernatural, like
happen.
you had some sort of spirit.
something. I honestly
did you,
believe.
Were you ever aware of the history of your house? Did you have know anything that ever went down there? Anything that went dirty?
No. But you know, when I first got to Chicago, you know, we lived in the hood, so it was a lot of rats, a lot of just like bad vibes.
Okay.
And that was another house that I got.
Were you ever afraid of this feeling? Were you ever scared of it? Did you ever feel anything towards it? Anything good? Anything? No. Did you feel you were being harmed or hunted?
When I was little, kind of.
Were you high?
I was young, so no.
Okay.
The older I got, you know what? It was just a comfort. Like, all right, somebody's here with me. All right.
Okay.
You know?
Nothing trying to scare you. Nothing
No.
trying to get you.
But that's it. But that's creepy enough. That vibe alone, especially with women's intuition.
No, okay.
Like, just, you know,
Do you feel maybe it was someone there for you, or was it maybe a long lost family member, someone maybe looking out for you, or was it something attached to the house?
I didn't feel any attachment to it, an emotional bond, nothing. I just felt like someone's here. It's someone else's house, or I felt like it wasn't my space. I was in somebody else's space, and that was creepy.
Do you still live in that area?
No.
No.
Nope.
Okay, and nothing else since you moved out?
Nothing.
Okay.
But that specific house, it was just like I was a visitor.
Okay.
And I got that vibe.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I believe there's spirits out there, ghosts.
I think some people are more receptive to others. Like some people have that sixth sense where they can kind of pick up on it. Maybe it is around us. I believe that there's stuff around us, but some people are more sensitive to it.
I agree.
I had a reading done a couple months ago just for fun, and the lady called it the gift. And she said, I had a gift since I was young and I can pick up on things. So I believe it's real. I mean, I think there's definitely some stuff going on out there. I mean, being Hispanic, most of the grandparents are into that stuff where they pray and they talk to people and they see things. Yeah, all kind of crazy stuff that I can't pronounce, but I know that people are into. So I think it's about some people are born naturally receptive to it. Then there's other people that like look for it and they want to see it. So maybe if you want to see, I don't want to see nothing.
And some people tie that,
unless they got some money from me.
Right. Some people tie that to like the religion, but certain people just tie
Are you a religious person, John?
I would say I'm more spiritual than religious.
Right.
I can't say I believe in any specific practices of any church or that anything's right or wrong.
The Church of Lizard.
I believe there's something out there. What it is, that's not my call to say, and my theories and ideas on it change so frequently.
So what people can expect from Cryptid City moving forward, John?
Well, we're not going to be afraid to tell the truth. We're not going to be afraid to question things. We're going to take a skeptical look at things too. You know, we're not just going to believe everything everyone has to say.
Especially in Chicago, we have a lot of Al Capone stories, a lot of ghost stories, a lot of ghost tours. It's a big money.
I'm a big fan of believing in stuff, but just because you have a story, I'm not gonna believe you.
Well, you know, this very building that we're actually in right now was an Al Capone storage depot.
Yep.
It's Urban Grind TV 1913 Studios. It was built in the 1880s. It's been around a long time, and I have spent the night here by myself.
Ooh, I wouldn't.
I've never felt anything negative because this is my family's, this is my grandpa's place, so I always felt like I'm in a good area. But it is noisy, like the older place. The thunder is rumbling as we speak. I know you guys can't hear that off camera.
No joke, there was just vibrations as soon as you said that.
Thundering. So I take that as that's Smokey, looking out for us, letting us know we're in the right place. But yeah, I think there might be something to it, John. What about you? Have you had any kind of supernatural experience?
I've had a few little incidents here and there. Anything I've seen. There's
Nothing from Boy Scouts, right? This is a totally different story.
No, not quite. A few things I've seen in the sky that I've thought were something other than man-made. I've had once I was hunting for ghosts and the lights on my car and the lights on the flashlight died. Like every time I hit a certain spot, and they would come on just after I drove back past that spot before.
See, that's the difference between me and you. The first time it's dead, I'm gone.
No, you have to experiment. Once it happens once, you have to go back to make sure it happens again. So if it happens twice in the same spot,
you trip.
It's an instant. See, there's something there.
If you watch the movies,
it happened once, it could just be something going down.
You watch movies, right?
Yeah, of course I watch movies.
You understand when something happens like that, and you go back to see what happens. That person usually dies,
and it's usually minority first.
If you're hunting down
Mexican.
the serial killer in the movie with the ghost that's coming to get you, that you crossed in a past life or something, but something you're just trying to go past. You're trying to go. I was in my car. We were looking for this spot where it's called the Grimes Sisters, and these were two little girls who disappeared in the 1950s. Elvis came on the radio. It's not that far out of Chicago where they were found.
Sounds like
over by Indian Head Park, maybe just south of that, by the big UPS center, actually. Just
Willow
right
Springs.
down the street. From you have to pass the UPS center to get there. But we were looking for the spot, in this picture in this book where these bodies were supposedly found in. We drove past once, and the lights on the flashlight and the lights on the car died out. We drove past the second time. I go about a block, they come back on, and it's like, what the hell just happened? We turned back around, we were looking again, like, could it have been here? And then the lights on the flashlight and the lights in the car died again. The car was fine, it kept running. It wasn't anything electrical in the car. It was just both the lights in the flashlight and the lights on the car at the same time shut off, So, once we realized, we looked up, it's like, okay, that was the spot in the picture in the book. It was just a couple years later, so things had grown, things had changed, But the fence looked like right where we were looking at,
That's a sign.
That don't sound like
we didn't really get out the car. I couldn't convince anyone else to that day. I wanted to, but everyone else was scared.
You saw Jeepers Creepers?
Yeah, a
That
long
like
time
that.
ago.
That sound like that.
Yeah. But, yeah.
Yo, do you hear the thunder that's been going on since Cryptid City came on?
Oh, it could be
No
a
joke,
sign.
like
a
every time you
symptom,
make a point.
Like, there is some serious thunder going on out here, man. This is
Chicago, it's
So what I really want to know what you want to believe in, since this is our first episode, let's just hit some basic stuff. What are your beliefs on Bigfoot? What are your beliefs on Sasquatch, the legendary beast, the monster out there? And I want to hear from people here in the audience, people here. But MH, start us out. What do you believe in the Bigfoot? Is it just a hoax?
I won't say it's a hoax, but I won't say I'm going to look for Bigfoot either. Like if he exists, he exists. If he don't exist, oh well. Like I'm one of them. Like if it come across and I hear about it, so be it. If you tell me you saw it, okay. I'm not going to find them for myself. I
ain't looking either.
I don't care. As long as he let me do what I do. He could do what he do, I'm not
live and let live.
Yeah, live and let live. I ain't that guy.
All right, Wally.
I'm with DJ MH to the man. If he's out there, he's all good. He could do him. I'm gonna do me. I don't know, man. I get it. I see what you're talking about, like, as far as some of the Native Americans talking on stuff, and there's been accounts throughout history, so there might be something to it. I mean, there's a lot of the world we haven't explored, though, and so I guess anything is possible.
Definitely.
All right, and I see XO from XO Live holding the mic there. What's your theories on the legendary Bigfoot?
My theories are only based on John Daniel's theories, just strictly because he's taken me on adventures to go find these Sasquatch people. And let me tell you something, I think it's real. I'm just throwing it out there.
As you said, I think they are out there. I think they're close to. I think they're near the city in the thing. If you definitely check out Urban Grind TV's lifestyle magazine, you can read my Cryptid City article, which discusses the Bigfoots in Cook County. I definitely want you to check that out. Can you tell them where to find that?
Yeah, well, by the time this airs, they'll be able to check it out at UrbanGrindLifestyle.com. Click on the link, and we'll have the digital as well as the print issues available soon. So, yeah, definitely tune in. I'm perplexed myself.
Question. So, do you think Sasquatch / Bigfoot is only in Illinois, or is it all throughout the world?
They're all throughout the world.
Chicago,
There's lots of
blizzards. What?
I don't think they're in
He's gonna
Chicago.
stay
I
his
think they're
ass
moving
in
through
Florida.
Chicago at the migration of the seasons. I think when it gets warmer,
He
they
ain't
move
traveling.
south from the. When it gets warmer, they move north. When it gets colder, they move south. I
So
think
it's more
How
they're-
do they travel?
They would follow the rivers.
The Bigfoot highways.
Yeah. Right now, the biggest one that cuts through from like Idaho, Indiana is Des Plaines River, and that goes all the way to Wisconsin, where it's all woody, and they can hit any tributary and work into the Des Plaines River from there. But the biggest
So
one
Bigfoot
that
can
moves
swim?
around the city and moves north and south would be the Des Plaines River.
So, when it gets colder here and they're going south, so they just hop on the Mississippi.
I guess that would be the thing to do if that's where they're coming from, and there's a lot of places to move around.
Would you give Bigfoot a ride if you saw him? Would you give Bigfoot a ride if you saw him?
I mean, if he had the thumb out and
For the sake of migration.
grass, gas, or ass, no one rides for free. You know what I mean?
So wait, you gonna take Bigfoot down?
What happens between Bigfoot and I stays between Bigfoot and I. That's all I'm gonna say. I'd like to thank you all for joining me. Follow me on Cryptid City on Instagram and Twitter. Definitely check us out. Hopefully we'll have the website coming up soon.
All right, well, this has been a unique experience, to say the least. And I'm sure it's quite entertaining for our listeners. I'm definitely interested in tuning in and for the next episode of Cryptic City. You talk about some special stuff here, Johnny.
Well, this is just a taste of the iceberg. I don't know why you'd be tasting icebergs, but this is the taste of it.
And as we exit on that note, happy birthday, John, man.
Yeah, happy
Everybody make
birthday,
some
John.
noise
Turn
for John. This is the Booth Radio on Urban Grind TV.